السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Inshallah, we are coming to the end of the chapter Duha, and there were only 3 verses remained. Now, the first 8 verses were concentrating on the connection between human beings and their creator, and how the creator has treated human beings and which kind of blessings the human beings are receiving from the creator, from their creator. And there were some specific subjects mentioned there. One of them was being an orphan. The other was being lost if we were left to our own devices. And we cannot get satisfaction because we cannot really guarantee and create anything. In order to satisfy ourselves, but God created us in such a way that we are self-sufficient. But He makes us self-sufficient. It means He prepares everything for us, what we need. These are all listed, and we have gone through somehow as much as we can in details. Now we are here. If so, if you have understood your relationship with your Creator, and you realize that how much grace you have received from your Creator, how He helped you and provided everything for you in this world, and even giving the guidance to save you from going astray from the right path, right way, and guiding you to the purpose of your existence. Now, it says, if it is so, if you understood that, now come to your real life on earth. Now, we say that we believe in God, and how are we going to practice it in our practical life, or what this belief in God would mean to us? Well, of course, this is an interesting and important question, and the Quran gives us the guidance and says that you were orphan, and we have taken care of you. You needed a lot of things. We cannot sustain your life. We cannot sustain your existence. Now, it is your turn in the practical terms, it is the practical life, that you should not oppress the orphan. It means, as God treated you, and you understood that, now you have to come back to your real life and reflect this consciousness, this awareness in your practical life. So you shouldn't oppress the orphan. We discussed a lot about what orphan is. Everything is orphan. They don't have free will. And we can do everything to them, but real oppression of the orphan is to transgress their rights. What is the fundamental right of the creatures? Fundamental right of the creatures. So that they have to respect. What is it? Anyone else?
I would say recognizing that they have a creator, that they're created, and reflect.
But this is the right of the creator. Fundamental right of the creatures. Yeah, but it's correct, but it is connected to the creator. Now, the right of the creature. It is. We will say that it's a connection, but the basic argument, basic answer will be slightly different from it, but it will take us. The answer will take us to your conclusion. Yeah.
As far as I understand,
what did you say? I was coughing. I didn't notice.
As far as I understand,
yeah.
It is when you do not fulfill the purpose the created being or the creation is meant for, like fulfilling the purpose of its existence.
No, on the same line. Both answers are on the same line. But right of the creatures themselves, so that we should respect. The first, as far as the conditions of this world is concerned, the first, but as far as the situation of the world in this world is concerned, looking for. What did it say?
What's the class for the Quran?
For the Quran, I see. Yeah. So what is the question is, just you moved in, we were trying to understand, or trying to get the first, it's another question now. I'm trying to make the difference between what? Between the right of the creature as it is in this world is, the primary right is, as far as the creature itself is concerned, to exist. To exist. But why? This is another question. Why? Because they are given existence, and since they are given existence, so they have the right to exist. If it is an animate being, the right of the creature is to exist with the life, with the life. With the life. And also, right of the creature is to have the necessary source of nourishment, sustenance, to preserve their life. So it is not on us. This is the right of the creature. Since you created me, you have to sustain my creation. Whom am I speaking here to? To the creator. Right. Since you gave me existence, I am conscious of my existence. You have to keep my existence. And you gave me the quality of life, so you have to keep my life. And in order to keep my life within the conditions of this world, you have to provide the sustenance to keep my life. So that's the right of the creature as far as his status in the existence is concerned. Now, how about the right of the creature as far as a conscious being's responsibilities are concerned? What are the rights? For example, there's somebody here, or a fly is going up. Yeah, maybe I can see, although I don't see here, but it's dark outside. But some things, human beings, animals, plants, or air, and I don't know, clouds, whatever you see. Do they have a right, as far as I am concerned, right from me, so that I should treat them? What's that? Fundamental right. That this right needs to be acknowledged and given. What's sorry?
Right of my humanity.
Right of
Humanity, my humanity, no. Like.
Okay. Right. Stay. You were late. So let's go. I'm not blaming, but because you are not coming, you are not aware where we are coming from. So anyone else? Try. Right of anything, as far as I am concerned, that I have to acknowledge the right.
Would it be just to like let them exist, or like not encroach on like their existence or their right to exist?
Fundamental right, yes. You're right. You're right. We have no right, although they exist. Whether you kill them, they still exist. So, for example, but as far as their existence, the right of existence is concerned with the Creator, because the Creator, whoever gave them existence and let them taste the pleasure of existence. Now, you cannot take it out. You shouldn't, because you let me experience the taste of existence, so you are taking it away from me, or you are torturing me. So you can't keep my existence, so I am expecting you, or I expect you to keep my existence. That is related to their Creator. But as far as we human beings are concerned, what are we expected to do when we see a fly, an ant, or a plant, or a stone?
Read the message that it's conveying?
That was the answer I was waiting. Yeah. I shouldn't belie them. Whatever the message they are conveying to me through their existence, as a conscious being, I have to decipher it, the message, and acknowledge it. If it makes sense, confirm it. I should not deny it. It means denying means deny the message that I am ignoring them. If I am here and somebody is speaking to me, and you are telling me something and just turn my back and don't pay attention to it, what do you feel? Insulted. Saying that, who you are speaking. I'm not going to listen to you. You are worth nothing. It is the worst insult. You are meaningless. It is a lie. It is not correct. It has meaning. What he's telling me, what a bird is telling me, conveying the message to me, it has meaning. In their existence, they are really, if you like, effulgent knowledge spreading and dispersing to conscious beings. Hey, look at me. How wonderful I am made. So that you acknowledge this message and refer its existence. It is not from you. It belongs, all these qualities belong to the one who gave you existence. That is the right of orphan creatures, because they are orphan in front of Yes, we can do everything. We can ignore them. We can tell them, you're the product of chance. Some people do. Some people do. You have no meaning in your existence. You have no purpose in your existence. This is the worst insult to a being, as far as conscious human beings are concerned. But afterwards, what you said, not to kill them, because if you have a book which conveys you very essential information, which makes your life meaningful, if you take the book and burn it, what do we do? What does it mean? The author is stupid, it is not worth listening to, and the book is meaningless.
So
Yeah, we should not burn them.
So would you say like burning the book would be the same as just ignoring it altogether or not acknowledging it?
Yeah, or killing. What? Killing the animal or anything, or I don't know, insulting them. Or you read and say, no, you are not meaningful. You are just nonsense. Accidentally happened things there. But speaking to a book which is so meaningful, can you study? Can you finish the studying the existence and the qualities in the existence of a fly? Let me give an example. What is the subject that's studied? Botany studies plant life, and animal life is zoology. Okay. 1,000 zoologists, they are expert, PhDs and expert on animal life. You get in biology as well, and chemistry too. Let's say experts, biochemistry experts. 1,000 of them, and all the labs are available for them. Can they study the meaning in the existence of a fly and finish it in their lifetime? Finish it? Yes or no?
No.
Sorry, why not?
Yeah?
Why?
Endless.
It's an endless matter.
Because it says if you study the cell, you cannot finish it. Cell, not the relationship between the cells and how they are communicating. They are connected to each other. They don't themselves communicate, but they are made as the parts of the machine. They don't communicate with themselves, but they are made in a way that they will communicate. And the parts of the machine, yeah? If you take one part of it, it cannot say that, no, I have to be here in order to let the machine work. They don't know. So the fundamental elements in the existence of the cell of a, let's say, fly, and it's an animal being, so it's life, and it is, I don't know, behavior. Oh, you can't. No one can finish it. No one can come to the end of any scientific or science discipline. This is the end of it. I've got everything. No one in 1,000, more than 1,000 people are working on this subject in the labs. No, I heard that in one of the lab in California, 15,000 people are working in one. All of them are definitely at least PhD. Professional in the subject. They are working in different area related to human life. How can I, for example, cure this disease and treat it, etc., etc. This is only one center of laboratory. 15,000 experts are working. can they get the end of any subject? Impossible, because the qualities of the creatures are endless. The message we get from the creatures are endless because their source of existence, their creator's qualities are endless. Absolute. Absolute has no end. The creator must be absolute. Otherwise, it would be a part of the universe. And a part of the universe has no consciousness, no choice, no free will, no power. It's obvious. So we have to be really satisfied with the message of the Quran, which says, so don't oppress the orphan. We think that our outward message, if there is an orphan, because it doesn't have the father and mother, and kick him out or something. No one does that. You don't have to be a believer not to do that. You don't have to follow the order of the Quran not to do that. Even the atheist people are more sympathetic, more mild to the orphan. Most of the orphanages in New York are established by atheist people. They don't acknowledge the Quran. So to understand that don't oppress the orphan in terms of the physical orphan that we understand without any father and mother, left alone children, is very, very simple approach to the message of the absolute creator. But he doesn't really mean that. It is obvious. Why it is obvious? Because it is already within my existence. Then if I see somebody, I cannot really kick him out. Needy, orphan. Yeah. Ask yourself. Think that you don't believe in God. You don't believe anything. You are an atheist. Okay, I am the product of nature. I happen to be like this. And you have seen let's say, 2 years old boy or girl left alone. No one is taking care of it. What do you do? Do you abuse him or do you take him home? Give him a bath? Clothe him nicely? Adopt him as your child? Don't you? You are an atheist. Yeah? Would you do that or?
Yes.
No. If I was an atheist, I would never do that. I would just kill the child. Would you say that? Have you seen any example of it?
There's a space in the middle of that.
Sorry?
There's a space in the middle of that. These are two extreme reactions. There's a space in the middle. I could take them to an orphanage myself.
Doesn't matter. No. It is not the problem. Do you oppress the orphan? Even if you were an atheist. So do you need God's guidance for this? Because it is already in your existence. Again, in your existence, who put this understanding in your existence? Your creator. So why do you expect the same creator to tell you again? It's already there. So we have to understand the speech of God. It is related to a point where I myself cannot find out if I wasn't guided by the verbal explanation of my creator. The Quran must be read in this way. It's very rare. Huh? I don't think you have never heard of this. Not a hard one. Soft, easy. Yeah.
It depends.
Okay.
So I have 3 questions. First one.
Don't
Smooth.
take this liberty. 2 questions at the same time. No, one by one,
What about
and
my
let's
secondary right to be
see. Yeah, okay.
as a created being?
One first. Okay, you have the right to exist, not to ask the question to a person who doesn't know. Okay.
So I think you partially answered this question, which is the primary right of a created being is to exist. And if the verse is saying that do not oppress the orphan, in this instance, how can I That would be like a mistake.
Yeah, because the primary right of anything which is given existence is to exist. Now, it is related to, it is the aspect of the right which is to its creator, not me. I cannot give existence to anything. So this verse is not about this. I just mentioned that to make the distinction between the right of any creature as far as their creator is concerned is different from the right of any creature as far as conscious human beings are concerned. Now, this verse is about the right of the creatures as far as conscious beings are concerned.
Okay. So my second.
Shall we let him answer?
Oh, go ahead.
I wasn't here for the previous classes, so I just wanted to make sure I
Is
had
it the first time you are coming?
Yes.
Welcome, but as if you are familiar with the class. Okay. I thought that you have been on several occasions.
No.
Okay,
But,
doesn't matter. You don't know the methodology, then we are following. You are getting just into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I understand what it means by orphan. So is every creature considered an orphan in this, in the sense that we're talking, like humans,
For
all
example,
animals?
you are holding a pen in your hand. It is an orphan. You can do everything to it. It doesn't have anybody to defend against your oppression.
So inanimate and
anything, the pen. So what you need, you have to go online, YouTube, and watch the previous classes.
Okay.
Duha has, I don't know how many.
It's the fifth part.
Sorry? This is the?
Part 5.
Part 5. So we have 4 weeks or 4 nights spent on the previous ones, and we emphasized on the definition of orphan a lot.
Okay.
So because the definition of orphan in the Quran is not very much widely known, and especially mentioned. For example, have you ever heard this understanding of orphan before? No one did. It is very interesting. I don't know, but very simple, although what we are doing is very simple.
I mean, it shows up so much in the Quran, so I assume that it did have a broader meaning than just what I know it to
but
mean.
What it was, So today I was speaking to one of my students and in the office, and not general, but personal, one-on-one. And whatever I said, he said, I never heard this. I never heard of this. I never heard of this. Because she has been educated in local masajid. And she learned a lot about Islamic information. Anything from Islam, she thought that she's qualified. Should I never heard? Why? It's very simple, not because I am knowledgeable and more knowledgeable than the other. The principle we follow here to read the Quran as the book, guidance, sent to humankind by their creator in order to know who the creator is, why he speaks to human beings. So we don't expect the creator to speak to human beings about that which they already know in their existence. They have the ability. So there is no need to try to understand the Quran in terms of which is already known by every human being, not necessarily that somebody needs the guidance from their creator. Where we need guidance from our creator is very simple, about the source of existence and my relationship with him. Because I don't know. By myself, I don't know, which is the term used in the Quran, ghaib. It means I know the art, but I am experiencing the art, but I am not experiencing the artist. So Quran lets me know the qualities of the artist under the witnessing of his art. and guiding you how to interpret the message you extract from the art. So introduce himself to human beings with the evidence that he has already demonstrated. But the demonstrated form, if we are not told by its artist, by the artist of the art, because art is the universe. Human mind cannot think of anything out of the universe because human mind works only in cause and effect, or effect and cause relationship. We see the effect, we question the cause. For example, effect is existence. Cause, we look at the universe, there's no cause. But human beings are given the capacity to question, but it must have a cause. It cannot come into existence by itself. Existence cannot happen by itself. Existence cannot have the most perfect order by chance. Yeah, even the chairs. Chairs is not already existing chairs. They put in rows. If somebody tells you 1 million times, not only once, flood came into this building and, how do you say, withdrew? They call it the effect of the moon on the sea.
Tide.
Sorry?
Gravitational pull.
No. The effect
tide.
of the tide. Effect of the tide. Flood came and went, and then the things, of course, flood. Changed. After 1 million times, the chairs, we are not asking who made the chairs. The chairs formed this row. Would you believe? The flood came and accidentally 1 millionth time, the chairs formed in this row by accidentally. Would you believe? 1 million times, tide came and went. But there is a word for it. The tide rises and something.
Ebbs.
Ebb something.
Ebbs and
Yeah, I don't know how to use it in English, but you know the tide rises and how do you say, withdraws. But I was caught up with a tide in an island. That's what I know how it is. You cannot stop. We were on the land. We didn't know. It was the moon time. There was a note on the entrance of the island in England. After 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever it is in the evening, water comes back. So before 6, leave the island. We didn't notice that. The sea is there or land is there. We were just, enjoying the view of the beautiful sea. And suddenly we found that we are surrounded by the water. So rushed with my wife running, to the shallowest place from there right out. So it is something amazing, the balance. Amazing, the effect of the moon, they say. Yeah, it's created in this order. This order happened by chance. Not the row of the chairs. The order of the universe happened by chance. After billions of years of error and try, it happened that you are here. Yeah, you are lucky. Yeah, you are lucky that you became like that by chance. Which kind of language is as if they are telling a tale, made up story, and making the children go to bed and sleep. They make tales, magical things happened by chance. I don't know which kind of human beings they are. Yes, sir, your second question.
So we said the secondary
You
right.
wanted, but after.
Yeah.
Okay.
We said the secondary right of a
So-
created being, or sorry, the second right, or
Second right, as far as
I am concerned.
human beings, conscious human beings,
Mhm. Is basically to, in a way, to be questioned the purpose behind their existence, right? Is to not take their existence as meaningless, but rather question the purpose or the message or the meaning behind their existence.
Yeah, but I think Tarek,
Mhm.
yeah, Tarek said something
Message.
repeated.
To read the message that every
Creature
creature convey.
conveys to conscious beings because their existence is
Meaningful.
full of meaning with no end. It's a wonderful witness. The universe is the best witness, speaks for its own right. Can you imagine? Yeah.
So in that instance, because the meaning is endless,
Yeah.
don't we require an eternal, never-ending opportunity to keep questioning that meaning?
Yes and no. Yes, because if there is meaning or endless meanings, if I am given the consciousness to acknowledge the meanings, I have to be given
Time
the
to.
opportunity to get all the meanings because I have the capacity. I have been given the capacity. But the reality of this world tells us you cannot get to the end. So what is left there is a huge gap is there. Look, I have not completed my search yet. I didn't finish reading the book, book is endless pages, not one page or 1,000 pages, endless pages. So no. What is important for human beings are not to read the whole book and finish it, which is endless. Cannot be. By nature. So what the Creator asks the conscious beings, okay, you have the right to understand all these meanings as long as you desire to understand all of them. Then you deserve it. But if you don't desire, if you turn your back to it, and no, there is no meaning, or they don't deserve anything. Yeah? But those people who deserve, because they are, for example, a child starts education, I'm going to be a doctor. Eh? What he does? From preschool, kindergarten, primary, secondary, high school, college, and medical school continues, yeah, in order to become a doctor. Now, to become a doctor in this world, although you cannot really specialize in every subject, and also you cannot get to the end of your specialty, but still you may be well qualified than the others. You can get customers and patients and make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That's the point, to become a medical student, yeah. To make a pleasant life for yourself and plenty of money. I don't know what you are going to do with the money that you don't need more than what you need, but I am the same. So I have more money than what I need. I cannot blame anybody. If I should blame myself. So in this world, you can get an end because this word is the ending word. Transient, there is an end. Everything, even the word itself has an end. Your life has an end. The Creator says, look, I'm going to give you this opportunity that you are looking for, acquiring, then not within your, or not leaving it on your responsibility, but I will look at you whether you are really on the way to read the book. Are you reading the book, reading the book, reading the book, reading the book? Okay, I understand that if I give you endless life, You will read the book endlessly. This is understood. Okay, don't bother. I am a compassionate one. Take you out of this existence and death. What happened? You gave me the capacity to understand everything in details. You didn't keep your promise, because by giving the capacity means I will fulfill it. Yeah? But you didn't. I said, no, I will fulfill it. What paradise is this? To get the end. That's why in the Quranic description, what we need now, we cannot get paradise in this world, because we cannot get to the end. But at the same time, we need to get to the end, not by ourselves, because we are created with this quality. It is the responsibility of the Creator to realize this quality. And the Creator speaks to me and says, look, in the universe, there is no source which will enable you to complete this. Only the one who gave this capacity can complete it. Come and I will do it. And we say, oh yeah, it must be so. When we hear the message, that's how the Quran should be read. Information about what is not available for human beings within the universe. It's not available for me to understand that there should be an eternal life. Where? If there was no prophetic message, which philosopher by itself, without hearing the message of the Quran, can tell you or has told us there should be an eternal life, eternal existence on at the face or on the face, I don't know English, how do you say it, on the face of the reality that we die. They say, no, there is no eternity, we die. Only those people hear about this message through those people who say, I have received the message from God, the prophets, the messengers. So what you do now, after hearing the message, you say, is it really possible? Does it make sense? That the question left us with a huge gap. Human potentiality is endless. And the qualities manifested in the creation and transferred to me through the creatures are endless. The desire to learn this message is also endless in me, but I am giving this. There's a contradiction in my creation. What we said in my existence, we said the first right of creatures is to exist. I must exist. Death is not non-existence. Transformation, or let's say, you are studying, yeah? Your professor sees you and says that, look, you love studying, I know. You want to learn, I know. Okay, you continue this. Okay, I understand. You are a good student. I give you pass. Because you desire it when he is satisfied. But a professor, the creator knows what we are doing better, but he is the creator of me. Now, right now, who creates you now? How do you exist now? How do you exist now? Now, this moment. How do you exist? Do you make yourself exist? No. You don't know which kind of existence you have. Yeah, when you go in front of the mirror, you see only the output appearance of your body. That's it. You don't know what's going on in your brain, in your heart, in your lung, or in your, I don't know, in your digestive system and nerve system. You have nothing. You don't know, but it is obvious that you are given existence. So your right as a creature, your right, my right is to expect the one who gave me existence to keep my existence. And that message we get through the messengers. Now the Quran says, I am the message from God. It makes sense. What it says, there will be an eternal life for you. You will experience the all qualities of your Creator manifested there so that you will be satisfied. That's what you say, I will give you and you will be satisfied. The previous verse, I don't know if it's here or not from here. Shall we go back? One. Can we do that?
Just press the back arrow.
Yeah.
There you go.
What means? Read the last one. It will not find you in need and make you self-sufficient. Who can make you self-sufficient? Only the one who gave you this capacity to seek for self-sufficient. Would you like to be a self-sufficient? Yeah, that is the given quality. Who can make this? The Creator says, only I can. And here the Creator must be able to do that because He is the one who gave me this. This logic always works. Like, it's very simple. We are not really reading the Quran in a way that is very complicated and very deep thinking. How do you say? Profound information is needed to understand. No, the method is very simple. If you establish that we should read the Quran from belief perspective, the message of God must be read from belief perspective, and accordingly read the message, everything becomes so easy. Why don't they see it? No, that's it. Now, the same logic continues here. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. No repulse the petitioner. If someone asks you of something, if you can provide it, if you don't give it, but start from physical to will come. What is needed in this age? We studied that we touched upon this point. So, by the way, did you get your answer?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, eternal existence. Your question makes necessary that eternal existence must exist. Must exist. Must exist. It means the promise we hear in the message through the prophets makes sense. It is appropriate to my human capacity. This is one of the fundamental arguments for the necessity of resurrection. It means a new existence must be given. Because if this existence is given to me, is this existence given from where? From, as far as the worldly life is concerned, nowhere. Yeah? You were a cell. Do you think the cell can really program you and make you exist? Give you life? Or equip you with all the human qualities you have, physical or non-physical? All the human qualities are non-physical. Body has physical. That's why this civilization deals with your what? Body. Even if you have existential questions and you don't have the answer to your existential questions, you go in what? Crisis. When you have the crisis, they advise you to go and take an advice from psychiatrist. Yeah, if it is a severe one. If it is just needs some sort of friendship or something, psychologist. But severe one, psychiatrist. What do? They prescribe you medicine concerning the function of your mind and nerve system, physical. Still physical. They don't give you the meaning to your existential questions, whose answer is not found in the world, and you were in trouble because of being left without any satisfactory answer. You find your life meaningless, and you said, What is the point in living? I'm going to commit suicide and kill myself. And they take you to psychiatrists, and psychiatrists prescribe you with the medicine which affects only physically, biologically. They don't give you the answer. That's the secular civilization. Treats you as flesh and bone and blood, not human being. Yeah, the cure is also is related to flesh and bone and blood. But the guidance from the Creator has nothing to do with flesh and bone. Do you see the contradiction? Yeah, all your human concerns, nothing to do with how I am going to grow my hair. I can't, whatever I do. So I gave up. I said, okay, it's all right. Okay, they understand. When they look at me, they say, how old are you? I said, okay, almost 70. All right, it's okay to have the bald. Okay, it means I cannot get the answer to my human questions from the secular society, secular civilization. Don't expect any help from secular civilization. Look for another source. But it is impossible. Your question is in this field, their answer is in that field. Irrelevant. Not connected. That's different. What do? They numb you. Stop brain working fast. So you become. And side effects here and there, swollen. God forbid. Okay. Even there is no sign. Still pointless. The source is not answered. The source of the psychological problems are human questions and meaninglessness, mostly purposeless in life. What am I doing in this world? Why am I here? I don't know. So, you know that. Okay, petitioner. Now the petitioner, maybe a person says, I don't have any food and give me, or most of the people in subways, and not all of them, but most. They ask you for money to get something else, not food, you know better. But some of them may be true. Well, there are some, those people don't come to Manhattan to beg. You know, us sitting there and saying, do you have any change? You know, but the person is already under the influence, under the weather. You know that. So those innocent people, for some reasons, especially not necessarily divorced, but abused women in the society a lot, abused children by their parents. They don't reveal it. They don't reveal it. It's a lot. Go and ask the city administration, how about the homeless, providing shelters? They say, what about how much we have, how many shelters we have is not enough. What's going on? Yeah, there are serious petitioners in physical terms. I am hungry, give me food. All right, we have to do it. If you have to do it. But be careful not to help the drug mafia. So they go and buy them and make them fatter and fatter, fatter and fatter. So, but be careful. You have to give. But it's very simple. In order to give some help, let's say, a kind of help, money, clothes, shelter, do you have to listen to God's speech? Look at the practical life. There are shelters organized by whom? By the city. Does the city follow the Quranic guidance? But they do it. And there are many orphanages, even hospitals, established, organized by people who call themselves something humanitarians or masonry, Rotary Club or Lions Club or this kind of thing. Do they follow the message of the Quran and that's why they do it? Huh? No. They do it because it is not required to receive the message from the Creator in order to help the petitioner. But the Quran says, hey, no repulse. It means you should not repulse the petitioner. Yeah? Fala means really you shouldn't. You shouldn't repulse the petitioner. So what is the Quran talking about? Physical, we don't need the guidance from God. So that, for example, have you ever seen anyone who helps animals, for example, cats, dogs in the street, or human beings, and gives them something? They do it because they heard this command. فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. It's a command. You should never. Then reject them. تَنْهَرْ, no. Reject them, no. Well, they are doing it because they heard this command from the Quran, from the speech of God. So why do you think God tells us this? Excuse me, my Creator, you seem to be a wise one, but you are making an unnecessary announcement. I already know. Sorry, I don't need your guidance. You have already created me with this understanding. So, how are we going to make sense of this then? In terms of what? In terms of the perspective of the speech of God is required, necessary, in order to have the guidance from my Creator, not only from my own existence, which is already given to me, again by God, and God doesn't or should not repeat himself, because he's wise enough not to repeat himself. Yeah? Okay. How do we understand this verse? لا تنهار السائلة.
Well, I was thinking in terms of not neglecting or ignoring the part of me that inquires or asks certain questions that are existential in their nature, and to not cast away. I mean, sure, it could also be questions of others that are not in terms of physical needs, but I think perhaps first and foremost, the feelings or created questions that I find in myself that are petitioning for answers.
What do you call this kind of questions in our classes?
Existential questions.
Existential questions. Human questions. Not the body side. Body side is an animal side. Quran doesn't speak to animal. It says, I'm speaking to human beings. It means your human side. Excuse me. It never ends. I think it will end when? When I say bye-bye to Duha. Okay. Now, Quran speaks to human side. So he must mean, the Quran must mean something to do with human side. But human side, I have some answers, it's already given to me, and I have some answers which is not already within my capacity, but I have been given the capacity to understand when I am taught. For example, it's a very typical example. We give this example maybe 10 times. Have you studied physics? No. Okay. You have. All right. If you go and ask a physics department and the professor is there to teach me, can you learn?
Yeah.
Yeah. because you have the capacity. But unless you are taught, you cannot discover your potentiality. That's what human condition is. Unless you are taught, you cannot learn. Yeah? That's why God's speech is necessary, required to teach us, which is already within our potentiality. But it is not developed. It has not improved, progressed, or turned into capacity that you are a physicist. No, unless you learn, then unless you learn, you are not a physicist. When you learn, you are a physicist. How do you learn? From a teacher. But the capacity to learn is within your existence. Unless you are taught, it doesn't come up, if you like. It is a potential latent capacity within you and stays there. But if you learn from the teachers, you become a physicist. Now, that is why the universe is not enough to answer the requirements of human capacity. That's your question as well. We have to understand this. But why we don't really appreciate the speech of God and reduce it to our animality? That I have to help neither one in the street. Yes, I have to, but God doesn't have to teach us. Why? The practical answer, the practical reason to answer this question, why do we not read the Quran or the speech of God? You know, if you are not satisfied, I'll speak freely. If you are not satisfied with the Quran, you have to look for a source to get the answer to your human questions or existential questions. Because within the universe, there is no answer to your existential questions. You only can say the most clever, bright, what do they say here? No, you are, okay. No, it's smart. The smart people who are scientists, as far as the source of existence is concerned, what is their answer? The smartest people, they use their intelligence. As far as the source of existence is concerned, what is their answer?
They don't have one.
Sorry?
They don't have one.
Well, by chance it happened to be like this. I don't know. So crazy. It's not human. It must happen by chance. It's so crazy, unbelievable. These are the smartest people. They speak as a professor or professor emeritus, or I don't know, the one who won such and such prizes for their discoveries. Yeah, it's not an ordinary people. They say the universe came into existence by chance. I don't know. Must be. They say there's no other way. So we need guidance. If you are not satisfied with the Quran, is the guidance? Okay, I don't say anything. But you need guidance from the Creator. Find out. The universe, the most brilliant philosophers, scientists have no answer. Their answer is most ridiculous than the answer that you can hear from an ordinary man. Chance. Ordinary men, at least they say, oh, this is wonderful. There must be something, I don't know. They don't say chance. In order to be able to say chance, you have to be an obstinate enemy of the Creator so that they don't want to mention the name. And the Quran says the hell is prepared for this obstinate enemy of the Quran, Adubullah, in the language of the Quran. It's very, although there are not many, but I believe that it is really correct. They deserve it. Ordinary people, although they may not be Muslim, they may not be practicing anything, but if you ask them, how do you, what's the meaning of this word? How do you see that? Everything is really very interesting, very important. I don't know. There must be something. Some people say God, some people say something spiritual or something. They don't deny. And they don't say that. Ordinary people say, it must be happened by chance. It must happen by chance. Do they say? Ordinary common people? Happened by chance? No, they say, at the worst, they say, I don't know, really, very interesting, I don't know. I don't know the answer, but some people say they hear God, creator. There must be something. I don't know. I am not interested in the answer. I'm just taking care of my life, and I have the responsibility towards my family. That's the most effective excuse produced by human mind. I am responsible for my family. No, I have to take care of food and make money, something. That's what they say. Or the women said, I have to take care of the householding, etc. So, but the worst scenario comes from the most intelligent. So, and they are known as the most intelligent philosophers and scientists. I think hell is for them. For this, I don't really blame ordinary people. Hell is for those people who do it consciously. They don't want to acknowledge it for some reasons. Anyways. Oh, what was the point?
All scientists are going to hell.
Yeah, that wasn't the point. What denying ones? Petitioner. Yeah. Now, the petitioner, as far as the guidance in the form of speech or something other than what the universe has already included in its existence, must be external. Teaching. I have to get the teaching from this source. If you are not satisfied with the Quran, look for another one who is the teaching of the Creator. Okay? Search for it. If you are not satisfied with the Quran. That's why I'm not the Quran nationalist or bigoted, but I'm satisfied as far as I studied. It keeps its consistency, but with one condition. In order to be able to say this, you have to read the Quran according to its nature, not according to what you have heard from your ancestors. Now, why the people don't read the Quran? Generally speaking, there must be definite exceptions, as it deserves to be read from belief perspective, explaining the ghaibi aspect of everything. It means, ghaibi aspect means, do we understand the word? Ghaibi, it means which is not within the universe, but beyond the capacity of the universe. For example, the art is within the universe. The artist is beyond the capacity of the universe. Artist is not within its own art. So there is a piece of art here. Can you find the artist within the art? It becomes a piece of the art. It needs the artist itself. It is a vicious circle. Yeah, it is a vicious reasoning. So artist is not, should not be, cannot be, logically within the art. So art must be out. So artists of the universe must be beyond the universe. beyond the capacity of the universe. Not universe ends here and then artist sits somewhere else. This was just an analogy between art and artist. But artist is not within the art. That is the logic. Yes, we transfer this analogy. Where is the artist of the art of the universe? Where is it? It cannot be within the universe. Logical conclusion. I'm not speaking because Quran says so, the Prophet taught me this. No. I'm a human being and using my own capacity, logic. So I have to look for a source who will teach me, but this source is not of the nature of this universe. Because the universe is an art. That's what I am questioning. I'm questioning what is the source of my existence, but it extends. What is the source of existence of the whole universe? Yeah, that's why I have to ask the question: what is the source of existence of the whole universe? Got it? So the source of existence of the whole universe cannot be of the universe. Get it? Do you have any question here? It is a very crucial subject in order to search for the source from not within the universe, but without the universe. The teacher must be without the universe. Now, if you are not satisfied, the Quran says, I am from the creator of the universe. Oh, let me see. But if you say, oh, there is something, lots of politics are going on to blame the Quran, and that the women's right is not accepted, the slavery is still confirmed by the Quran. Stupid, ignorant people make this kind of claims because they don't really study the Quran as it should be. But at the same time, Muslims also present the Quran in a funny way that I don't believe. I don't believe what the Muslims present, how the Muslims present the Quran. The problem is people hear from their cultural background, some vocabulary and some things without questioning. They read the Quran as related to this word, not related to the ghaib. Although they say Quran gives news about ghaib. No, not gives news about ghaib. Quran guides human beings to the acknowledgement, awareness of the qualities of the ghaib, not news about ghaib. That is a very sensitive difference between the definition of the Quran or speech of God, the word of God. It's a very sensitive definition. If you say Quran gives about the news, gives news about the ghaib, when you should not. Let's make the language clear, daily language, simple language. You should not repulse the petitioner. So news about the ghaib doesn't apply here because I'm not going to repulse the petitioner. What do they say? You should do it as a command of God. Look at the understanding. You should give money to the poor as a command of God. But how do I know the command of God? It's written in the Quran. But the Quran is reduced to already any secular understanding of giving or not repulsing the petitioner. How can you say that it's the word of God? Because already talking at the level of any atheist people talk. Atheist people, humanitarians, most of the people, even the worst people in the world, say, yeah, I agree, we should not repulse the petitioner. Don't they? I mean, what is this special thing with the Quran? Let's before going into the answer, let's. The time is getting short.
What time is
It's your
it?
question. I think you have something to say.
Yeah. So I understand the concept of the source of the universe can't exist in the universe. So those who would leave the universe up to chance, can you just explain how the concept of chance is still a part of the universe and can't be something considered outside of the universe?
No one can prove it. It is a made-up story. There is no chance in the universe. There is no chance. Even one particle in the universe acts accidentally, it means exists accidentally. I wouldn't believe in God because chance what? There is chance in the universe. It happens. Nothing can go out of the order of the creation. So that's why I say hell is for those people who speak as if they know everything, but they say universe is the result of chance. Hell is for them. There is no sign. There is no human logic which will confirm it. Rationally, it is impossible to accept. It's obvious contradiction, and they still insist. They say all education must be based on secular systems. They are so aggressive. How do you say? Dictators. Really? If you go and study biology and write an essay and say that evolution theory, and I can see the data. I don't deny I am an expert on the subject, but interpretation of it that it happened by chance can't be true. The second day, what? You will receive a letter, you are fired. You cannot be an impartial scientist. You are obsessed by theology. We are scientists. That's the reality. They made up a committee there and said, this is the committee scientists. Who are they? No, we don't say it, because people may attack them. They can just dispel you from the world of science in this society if you say something against their theology, their interpretation. If you say that I am a bit suspicious about it, they don't give you life there as a scientist. They expel you. That's a dictator, whatever you call them. Hitler was what? A dictator. Stalin, for example. Now the Stalin of this age is?
Ideology.
Sorry?
This ideology.
The ideology supported by the people. They are the Stalin or Hitler of the age in the scientific area. Unfortunately, you don't have the freedom to interpret your findings as you want. Try. You don't have the freedom to express your conclusions of your own findings in the lab. You are an expert. No, you don't have the freedom. You have to follow secular approach. What is dictatorship? It is the worst kind of dictatorship. Putting the human mind into prison and conditioning the human mind as they want. They are not free to think. They say scientists are free thinkers, most rationalist people concluding the most irrational conclusion about the source of existence. This is the dilemma of the age. We have to wake up. Okay. You should never repulse the petitioner. Now, the petitioner here, as far as the Quran is concerned, the one who comes to you with his or her needs for an answer to his, come on, Existential questions. You have to provide them the guidance. What the messengers did, who brought the message of the kind that we are reading the Quran, what did they did? They said, don't waste your time by worshipping false images, understanding. Did they, have you seen any messenger who opened the dentist clinic to cure people's dents or to heal people's teeth freely, free of charge? What they gave, they transferred the guidance, and they say, we don't charge for it because that's our duty. We are given this duty. I have to do. Now, as the follower of these messengers, you have to help people about providing a convincing answer to their human questions. If they have bodily problems, you advise them go to a hospital. Go to the hospital. All right. If I said, I have some problems in my ear, okay, go to a specialist doctor or what is it, throat, nose, and ear or something. There's a specialty. And yeah, to go to a doctor, a specialist in this. But if I say, I feel bored, if you someone says, I feel lonely, I feel bored, I feel I'm useless, I feel no meaning in my being. Yeah? And then you should never repulse that. But be careful not to misrepresent the message of God. Because most of the time, we take for granted the belief in God because we heard. So after saying that I believe in God, well, we are Muslims or we are Jews, they believe in God as well. The Christians, they say they believe in Hindus. They say they believe in the Creator. Yeah, okay. So I believe in God. So my religion is the best, regardless of whether you are a Christian or a Buddhist or a Hindu or Jew or Muslim. My religion is the best. So how do you know that Christianity is your religion? How did you own it? Did you make the choice? Or did you just follow your parents? Huh? How do you own it? Religion is not a physical property that you can inherit from your parents. Yeah, it must be your own. You must have the answer. For example, do you have the answer why you exist? Now, do you have the answer, what are you doing in this world? Do you have the answer, a rationally acceptable answer? How come you are here? Was it God created me? Was it, come on, who's God? They say. So you have to establish the foundations first for yourself so that you can teach. Yeah? You have to investigate first so that you should not repulse the petitioner if you have it to give something to feed or to satisfy the person's question. If you don't have it, what are you going to do? If someone comes, physical example, I need to drink some liquid. If you don't have it, what do you do? I'm sorry, I don't have either. Yeah. But what we do, without having it, we just transfer the culture without being satisfied ourselves, without understanding that Islam is my choice or the Quran is my choice. Really, the guidance makes sense to me because of this and this and this and this, right? So if someone comes to you, I don't see no meaning in my being. I feel useless. And I don't know what I'm doing in this world. Yeah, I know I'm studying because my parents asked me or forced me, or the life conditions forced me. And then after study, I will work. And after I work, what will happen? I will die. Why should I bother? You say, no, you have to work. Why? Because you have to take care of your life. There's the one who gave me existence should take care of my life. Because he made me in need of food, he must provide it. And now I have to struggle for hours and hours of work a day, right? It doesn't make sense. You have to have the right answer in order not to repulse the petitioner. Otherwise, instead of giving guidance to others first, you have to be a petitioner and get the guidance for yourself. You have to study, you have to work for it. Okay, and talk about the blessings of your Lord. Now, the last verse of the chapter. What are they? The blessings of your Lord. Can you tell me? Talking about the blessings of your Lord. What is the blessing?
I would interpret it as talk about the messages that you've learned from your existence. It relates to the verse before, that in order to have an answer to a petitioner, you have to have acknowledged that you have received some kind of understanding or some kind of
blessing.
Yes.
From the Creator. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to mention it. For example, who comes from a Muslim family background and they invite people, their relatives, their friends for iftar, for a sacred dinner. Eh? Okay. Have you experienced that? Have you invited people to your house for a iftar? I wasn't there, so that's why I'm asking. So have you? Yeah? Yeah. Have you noticed that they talk about the food only?
Not always.
Come on.
No, really, not always. It depends on the people.
Yeah. They talk about the food. And did they tell you how wonderful it is? Yes or not? Yeah, because you made it, huh? Where is the maker?
Yes.
Where is the maker of the food? Because blessings of your Lord must be mentioned. The cook must be mentioned. And they say, we believe in the cook. It is just a story. Just wishful thinking. I went to a Muslim country a month ago. I spent there for a month. For a long time, I've never seen anyone who talked about the blessing of our Lord while we are having even the food, most obvious one. Everything is provided. Grapes, figs, oranges, perfectly prepared. And we talk about the food itself, not the blessings of my Lord. But it is the Muslim tradition, we never forget to say Bismillah. It is a shame to say Bismillah before the starting of the food and then never mentioning the blessings of the Creator. It is just a cheating, as if I am cheating God. No. I'm eating in your name, but say, no, this is a nice one. You are a very good one. What did you use in its ingredients? Can I get the recipe for it? Huh? What's going on? What is going on? That is the general picture. There are exceptions, but very few. But try it. to talk about the aspect of the food which reveals the secrets from its creator, the quality of the creator, and how we should mention, talk. Haddatha means talk about, it mention, yeah, speak about. So in the verse, so the blessing side of the things, what do we say? You know, here there are, let's say, I'm making up, there are very farms, they produce cucumber. And you know how many acres, how much they even export it to some other places. Where is the blessing? So the Quran says, hey, don't talk about the things themselves. Only talk about the blessings in the creation of those things. Don't say, you know, oh, it is wonderful, whatever your name is, this and Aisha. So, Aisha, it is wonderful, perfect. You are a very good, talented cook. We really enjoyed it. And at the end of the food, they say, Alhamdulillah. What's Alhamdulillah? Alhamdulillah, cook. Where's Alhamdulillah? It's a shame to say it, Alhamdulillah, after talking about the food, but never. Source of the blessings in the food. You see the guidance here? Reminding what? Talk about the blessing of your Lord in everything. In everything. So if you have any blessings that make you happy, what you have to talk about, the source of that thing, the source of existence of that thing. That's what the Quran is about. That's what we need to. We need to learn. Otherwise, to appreciate the cook, to thank the cook, of course, without mentioning the message in the existence of the cook, you don't have to listen to the Quran. You don't have to listen. You don't have to have any message. It's already within you. Even the secularist people do the same thing. Yeah, when they have a dinner, prepared dinner, especially iftar, the first thing is, where is my iPhone? And share it on Facebook. You know, we were invited by Aisha, no? Aisha. And the food was wonderful. We really enjoyed the iftar. Iftar? You know, iftar is related to fasting. Oh, God. And it wasn't fasting, it was food, talking about the food. So it means fasting was for nothing. Fasting was being hungry only. Yeah, fasting was being hungry only. Fasting should give a birth with mentioning the blessing of your Lord. It is a drama that we are going through. We should wake up. And this is the end of Duha. And if you find it interesting, this that I found, the next chapter in Shra is, to my measurement, 10 times more interesting than this. If you dare not to come, don't come. But inshallah, as far as I am giving life in this world, I will come. Inshallah, opportunity by my Creator, I will come. Otherwise, I want to take, if I am taken away, bye-bye. Salam alaikum from now. But if I am giving life, I don't want to miss Inshra. It's beautiful. Really.